I want, in this statement, Mr. Speaker, to draw attention to the work of the Marijuana Commission, and in particular, the serious, independent, deliberate, scientific way in which the Commission is going about its work. And I want to place and record the government's deep appreciation to our citizens and residents who have accepted to serve on the Commission, and equally important, those who are attending the public hearing and letting their views known. For the record, the members of the Commission are Dr. Hazel Laws, Chief Medical Officer, and she serves as the chairperson. Mr. Andre Mitchell, Assistant Commissioner of Police, Law Enforcement. Mr. Charles Wilkin QC, Dr. Garfield Alexander, President of the St. Kitts and Nevis Medical and Dental Association. Mrs. Michelle Delacroix Blake, Director at the Counseling Unit. Dr. Julie Graves, an Associate Professor, Ethics and Behavioral Science at UMHS in St. Kitts. We have Reverend P. Alistair Rollins, the Anglican Parish of St. George and St. Barnabas, St. Kitts. We have Samandi Reed, I hope I have that right, representing the Rastafarian religion. Miss Kenisha Fleming, representative of the National Youth Parliament Association. Mrs. Joan Brown, an Assistant Secretary with the Nevis Island Administration. Miss Karimu Byron, Director, National Council on Drug Abuse Prevention, and Mr. Curtis Francis, Counselor in the Ministry of Education. The St. Kitts and Nevis Marijuana Commission was convened by Cabinet Fiat, and it was mandated to explore all the implications of the use of marijuana, to engage all the people of the Federation through consultative meetings and to ascertain their position on the complex issues, and ultimately develop a final report to inform relevant policy decisions regarding marijuana. The National Marijuana Commission, in collaboration with the Department of Statistics within the Ministry of Sustainable Development, is conducting a national survey to determine the prevalence of use of marijuana in the Federation. This survey will inform us about the scale of use of marijuana and the factors associated with its use. Data collectors or enumerators are already coming into all districts and randomly inviting a number of persons to participate in this survey. The enumerators are wearing identification badges. The enumerator will request approximately 10 minutes of the interviewee's time to complete a short questionnaire which is anonymous. In other words, your name will not be documented. No one will be able to link you with the questionnaire that you completed, and your participation in the survey is voluntary. In my view, the work of the Commission presents a unique opportunity for persons with an interest in the matter to hear and to be heard. To hear, because part of the mandate of the Commission is to bring information to the public regarding the particular matter which is the subject of their mandate. Equally, it is in their remit to not only to hear, but to be heard. And so persons then can go out to these meetings to engage the Commission, to hear from them, and to let the Commission hear their view. I encourage all with a view to let their views be heard, including cannabis users, non-users, the church, the private sector, the education fraternity, political parties, the Bar Association, indeed any entity with an interest or curiosity should become engaged. I am advised that 17 town hall meetings have been planned for the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, and 6 meetings have already been held in St. Kitts and Nevis. Mr. Speaker, I have been heeding my own advice to speak on the matter, but let me make it absolutely clear that I want to learn more about the topic, like all of us. All of us want to understand not only the prevalence of marijuana use, the demographics and the sociological causes of its use, and the implications at the individual and wider societal level of marijuana use and abuse. I am keen too to see the arguments regarding the potential economic benefits of its cultivation and trade. Will it be a viable export? And in what form? In its primary form or in processed form? Where will be the markets? And how do we get around the UN prohibition of it as a dangerous substance? This then is a big and sensitive topic. None of us have a monopoly of views on it, but each of us may have a view, and I encourage each of us, whoever we might be, to express it. This is a matter of importance to all of us, our way of life, our international relationships, including implications for our participation in visa programs, the access to the banking system, and the related issues of correspondent banking, the impact on crime and violence, among a multiplicity of other areas. That is why I am encouraging people to become engaged. And that is why even as I share my view, I still continue to have an open mind with respect to what the alternative thoughts and expression may be. In that context, I feel passionately, though, that the habit of marijuana smoking ought not to be forced on children. I want to make it clear. It is my view that the habit of marijuana smoking ought not to be forced on our children. And I've expressed this as recently as the other day at the opening of the forensic lab. I feel that it is wrong that some of our school children are being made to trade in the illicit substance that has been reported to us. And I am concerned about it, and I condemn it. I said there must be zero acceptance of the unlawful use of smoking of marijuana by our precious children, particularly when these habits are being coerced on them. Many research studies have underscored the adverse effects of smoking marijuana on the young and developing brain. I believe that adults have a duty to protect the children, and the wealth of evidence and medical research consistently show that smoking marijuana is bad for children. I want, and we should all want, our children to grow up to experience the joys of puberty and adolescence without the negative impact of marijuana and cocaine, and indeed any other substance on their lives. My personal views as a father of two and my duty as head of government are clear. I do understand that in formulating public policy at times, one has to subordinate personal views to the broader public interest and public good. by establishing the Marijuana Commission. I and the Cabinet have indicated quite clearly that the broadest public engagement was a sine qua non for distilling the public interest in the matter, and I still believe so. The Commission is an independent one. The Cabinet of which I am a part will not prejudge nor preempt the outcome of the Commission's work. That is for the Commission to do as professionals should. But the Commission was set up to hear the views of people, not to distill silence. I am happy to excite public debate on a very serious matter. My views, however, are my own, as the Federal Cabinet has not at this time formulated a firm position on this matter. We, of course, await the work of the Commission, and Cabinet members are free, if they will, to engage the Commission as citizens, as parliamentary representatives, as fathers, as mere concerned citizens. Indeed, when the matter comes to Cabinet, I would expect that even there we will have a frank discussion about it, and a conscious vote, if necessary, will be allowed not only in the Cabinet, but in the Parliament. I welcome a healthy and serious debate on the matter, and I appreciate that it is not just whether we criminalize or legalize or decriminalize marijuana. And because the subject is so complex and large, why we opted for the development of a commission, and we say that we will give the commission time and space to do its work fully and properly. The commission wants everyone to let his or her views known. As I said, you can't distill silence. The idea of the commission is to get people to talk about it and to distill from those conversations and from the other approaches, focus group work, surveys, etc., where the country is at, among other things. The commission, in my view, will not and should not let the views of anyone, however high or lowly the platform from which that person speaks, to negatively influence its work. It is an independent commission. Its job is to help people to elucidate their views and the subject matter, not to stifle public debate. And the views of all should be countenanced. The speaking up or the writing on the matter is not what is a problem. It would be the deafening silence or non-participation that will present the greatest humbug to the Commission's work. For my part, I will defend everyone's right, including those of Cabinet members, to express their view on the matter, even if it is a contrary view. Those views, as I said, should never unnecessarily impact upon the professional work that you expect any commission to do, and one of this magnitude. The commission must be able to hear views for and against and in between, and come to a dispassionate and clinical determination of the evidence before it. That is why I want to encourage the citizens and residents to let their views be heard, to be respectful and calm in the presentation of their views about a matter which is still very, very controversial all over. It excites warm debates on this matter in all societies in which debates on this matter has been allowed. I would wish that the Commission will conduct its mandate, execute its mandate, and produce excellent work. and the way in which we in St. Kitts and Nevis have gone about allowing the Commission to take leadership in this particular matter, and the manner in which the Commission executes its work must make St. Kitts and Nevis the model in which matters such as these can be attended to in the public interest. May it please you, Mr. Speaker. I thank you.
Stay up to date with news, programs, and activities of the government with SKNIS. Like us on Facebook. Listen to us on SoundCloud. Follow us on Twitter. And watch our videos on YouTube. Connect with us today. SKNIS, St. Kitts and Nevis Information Service.